are doing well. Today we have Vadgama Rajesh sir with us. So we have been trying like from a lot of time to get him. Finally, he is here. Sir, if you can give a little bit introduction about yourself, the people who don't know you, so that would be a little bit.
Yeah. My name is Rajesh, and by qualification, I completed BSc, MSc, and PhD in biotechnology. It's almost like 12 years of experience after my PhD. So today, we have a very good interaction with the biotech actually, where we will just go through a journey where I have reached the several milestone. So what was the reason and what is the way to get that milestone for the others. So it's going to be very nice interaction with this team.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So sir, let's just begin by telling about your journey when you choose about biotech. Sir. So let's go back in the time when you were choosing because I mean let's just go in back in the shoes when you were on the verge of choosing. So what made you choose? Is it like you were prepared? Because I feel like at that time I don't think so there was a lot of thing about biotech
Oh,
in much because at my time also I gave NEET and I didn't clear that. I left by just 2 marks and I got into biotech. So I mean that would be the half. Like most of them have come into biotech like this. But what was your journey behind it and why do you choose that?
yeah, it's actually same with which happened most of the students. Obviously, I given the MSCT exam, become a doctor, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you can say I was not qualified. And then during I remember that day it's 2004, and this is the first time they introduced the CET for the engineering, and it was like shock for us because we are just preparing for the board exams, and
Yeah,
suddenly after you give the exams, before result come they say now you have to give one more exam for the engineering admission. So it was very shocked. So I saw, okay, no, we are not prepared for the entrance exams, we are just prepared for the board.
yeah,
And that left me only just BSc, because you cannot go in medical, you cannot go engineering, and third, obviously nothing, just continue your 13, 14, 15 in the same
yeah.
college. So that was the things, directed by the god, I can say. You have to do BSc. Then question comes, okay, what to do in BSc? Because BSc at that time, you rightly said there was nothing like more biotech. So it's almost 21 years ago I'm telling about. So there was word biotech, but there was nothing to be, I can concrete or anything I can say very good future or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what actually I choose biotech because my elder brother was doing pharmacy. He was in second year from the Bombay
Mm.
College of Pharmacy, and he said, okay, instead of going for the traditional courses, let's go to applied courses. And biotech was the applied courses at that time, because just why it is applied, I don't know, but it was just it has a more fees. So
Yeah.
based on the fees, we choose, okay, it might be the applied, it might be of some future, it might be of
Mm-hmm.
some XYZ, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of things. And then I because of his word, I taken a biotech, because biotech was nothing. Even today's 12th standard, we get a biotech as a one of the chapter in
Yeah.
science. But at that time, in 21 years ago, there was no biotech word even in the textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Just we chosen, just nothing, no predetermination. Just we have chosen very slowly. Okay, let's do biotech.
Yeah. So, like when you came into the college, then what exactly you thought about? कि अब मेरे को क्या करना है? Because exactly at that point you must be like, because you also must not have like a right path, right? Because you must have thought कि what like seniors are doing, so that is like the ideal plan. You will go for PhD. But at that time, what do you thought while doing or pursuing your bachelor's?
Yeah. So during the BSc, I thought biotech will be different lab, different
Yeah.
environment, different these things. So only the structure was new. Nothing inside something is very unknown. Like we can see the gene, we can see the
Yeah.
those kind of experimentations. It was normal lab, because I was surprised. Okay, this is called biotech.
Yeah.
But I learned it might be, at that time, that is the best way to teach the biotech. Okay,
Mm.
let's start with the basics, and then you advance with respect to time. You will know actually what is biotech. So there was surprise for me looking at the equipment, facilities. Only the structure was new because the new department is a new structure. but inside
Yeah.
the structure, the laboratory and everything was same. And I still remember it was coordinated by the Department of Microbiology, because there was nothing pure biotech head or anything. The microbiology head was coordinating this kind of department. So there are so many experiments which were replicated. Okay, the same experiment you do in biotechnology, that same experiment you do in microbiology, just laboratory gets changed. Otherwise, the content was same.
Yeah.
Still, there was a learning. It's not like that there's nothing, but it was a learning. Okay, maybe you have to focus more on the one aspect of biotechnology, like microbial biotechnology. So those kind of things was actually make a very good grounds. And
Hmm.
then obviously biotech is a huge word. Okay, within biotech, so many branches will come, but at least you should be from at least for one or two stream where you can be a master, you can be
Yeah.
godfather for that field, and that become basis for during those BSc years. Okay, let's focus on at least one aspect, and that become the base for going for the next steps.
For sure. Uh, so okay, let's just go years ahead. Then you did your masters as well. At what
Yes.
time you thought, ki, okay, now I want to go for PhD, because PhD is also like a biggest step. I feel it's like a 5 years
Yeah.
commitment to your research.
Yeah. So there
Also,
is, yes.
yes, sir.
So there is a story behind it, during the masters, because after BSc there's no options. You cannot go for the job because no one can give a job to BSc students because they
Yeah.
are still immature. And BSc and B, there were different between the professional degree. B Tech, okay, MBBS
Yeah. Yeah.
or B Farm. These are the 4 years courses after 12th. So they are considered a professional course. And
Hmm.
BSc is just 12
3 years.
plus 3, so it doesn't consider as a professional course. So there was no
Yeah.
chance of getting job. So obviously
Hmm.
I go for the master first. And during the master, I remember I was doing the internship in the Biocon. Still, it is a number one biotech company. At that time, obviously, it was the biotech number one biotech company, and I got an opportunity to work as an intern. That become very, I can say, a turning point of my life, because till that time, okay, I can say BSc plus 1 year of a MSc, I was just looking at the books, only
Hmm.
theoretical subject, but there was no exposure to me to go into industry and see the how the industry people are working. So that was my
Yeah.
first experience with the industry. And during the industry, okay, like you and me are working in one particular space, so they were working in the industrial space. And obviously, I was asking some questions whether how you reach these positions and what is your suggestions. So I still remember one person who was actually working in the Biocon. He told me, Rajesh, if you are half hard to do PhD, please do it. It means you have 50% of say yes or no. Please still do go ahead with the PhD. And at that time I thought, okay, let's explore this. It's not like I want to be a scientist in the future, but this is the what I have seen from the industry, because he was MSc
Yeah.
and her boss was his boss was the PhD, and I can see the difference between the language, difference between the delivery of the words and everything. So I was impressed by the PhD student, PhD guy, I can say. So that also evoked me. Okay, Rajesh, if you want to be grow in that area, let's focus on the best one. Na? Why to compromise at MSc level? So these two things actually I can say ignite me, and I started preparing for the PhD entrance exams.
In when you got into PhD. Also, just a little out of the context question. What did
Mhm.
your like parents thought about it? Because once you like did your bachelor's, master's, and then PhD, because at that time I think it would be very like most of the people would be very tough to explain like exactly what is the path you are following. It's still it's tough for many people to explain what exactly. But
Yeah,
that
yeah,
what at that
it's
time
a
like how was the situation?
yeah, you are right. Actually, it was very difficult to explain because after master degree, every parents want that my children should go and earn something,
Yeah,
because that is the story of any normal common man. After you study, you should go for the earning.
yeah,
And then I explained this is also a study, but along with the study, I get a stipend scholarship from the government of India.
yeah,
So it's a kind of earning, but along with the earning, I will get a degree. So there is the investment of my
true.
time. and there is the investment of my knowledge and everything. So I will get a return back after the 5 years. So that way I explain them, because I cannot say that I am still studying, because if I say only just studying, so bhai kitna padhai karoge? Like you come to know there is the age of marriage
Yeah.
and age of settlement and everything. So I said that it's not a only study, but it is a study along with the earning.
Yeah, because what I feel is like in general in our field is 3+2. Like right now it can be 4+1 as well due to new
Yeah.
NEP policy. But as like Indian parents mostly compare it to other people around, which is like BTech or any other field. So they are like, "कि 4 साल के बाद job तो लग ही जाता है." Then what exactly you are doing? And also, not every parent do understand our field because it's very tough. Even till date, it's very tough for me to explain my relative what exactly I'm doing, exactly what is the field biotech about. So I cannot imagine even your like at your time, like to explain about other people about this field would have been very tough. But I feel like right now, 2, 3, like 4, 5 years back, COVID gave another life
Perfect.
to
I was
biotech.
coming to that point. Because of COVID, we are famous. Biotech.
Yeah, Varna, though I would feel like only like 10-20% of the people would have known about this field, regardless of
Yeah.
the field holds so much value. But yeah, I mean, people really like awareness in terms of knowing it. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, when you finished your PhD, then what did you exactly thought about? What exactly now what? I mean, because it might be like there are two ways in which like while doing PhD, you also realize ki I feel like research is really made for me or not. And the second is that if you really wanted to go into industry, then you must have thought from beforehand only because like before like from your third, fourth year of your PhD.
Yeah. So when I actually entered into PhD courses, so I did PhD from the ICT, which
Yeah,
is earlier known as the UDCT. And this ICT is very well known for the industrial consultancy.
yeah.
So all the industrial, people will come here from chemical, pharma, biotech, and they do the consultancy with the professors. Means they give the problem, industrial problem to the professors, and then professor this give this problem to their masters and PhD students. So fortunately, I was lucky to I get the day one industrial problem.
Oh, wow.
So industry has already talked to the professor, and professor told me, Rajesh, you have to work on this problem. And this is not a typical academic project, it's an
Yeah.
industrial project. It means whatever you do research, it's going to be impact on the profit of the industry,
Hmm.
or industry have some strategy to get this product in the next 5 years. If you provide proper good research work, that become the base for the growth of the industry. There was a I can say academic problem as well as industrial problem. But from my myself, I was fortunate. I was only given the industrial problem, and that have a very relevance, because once you solve the industrial problem, your value
Yeah.
become very high. So I
Hmm.
always
True.
recommended to go with the strongest, or those kind of challenges which make you more perfect. I still
Hmm.
remember my first 1.5 years of PhD, because
Yeah.
I told you about it, I was did only masters and 6 months of internships. I don't have any industrial experiences, okay, to
Hmm.
do or to drive any industrial project. So I learned 1.5 years. I still remember those days. Each and every experiment was failed. If nothing was right, I was I was telling myself, are you doing right thing or wrong thing?
Hmm.
Because yeah, for till that time I was not realize what is the actually importance of this project or how to do it. And that at that time, your seniors plays very important role. I still remember my seniors who told me, okay, Rajesh, you should do like this. Instead of this step, you should do like this. And those kind of input from the senior. Suppose I am in the first year of PhD, so my second year, third year, and fourth year become my seniors, and they told me, Rajesh, you should drive this project in this way. Instead of this reaction, you do these reactions. So those kind of input was given to me, and after getting a 1.5 years of failed experimentations, I started now doing PhD in very different ways. And then you can see number of patterns, number of papers which is coming out of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
only PhD work.
So what do you think? Like, how important is the role of guide while you do your
Perfect.
PhD? I mean,
So
that is a very big question that people like. Every time I ask to the people, and every time I get different answers. I would really like to hear your thoughts on that.
yeah, so it's actually important of guide is only just signing your documents. It's all about guiding each and every failed experiment. Because still I remember, when I did any wrong experimentations. So he was guiding what was the wrong,
Hmm.
because that was very important for me. Instead of just whatever he says, I do it. Instead of I
True.
should realize what was the wrong. I was very fortunate. I got Dr. Arvind Lali as one of the best guide in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he has so much experience. Instead of you just say I failed in these reactions or these experimentations, he can tell you you did like this only. Otherwise, you cannot fail this. So he was saving my times
Mm-hmm.
instead of going round and round. After conducting 10 experimentation, failed experimentation, he told me instead of this, you should do this, and it will work. And that was also his confidence. If I telling you this, it should work. It means it will work. Just here to follow the path. So I really thanks to my guide who has guided very well to me throughout the journey. We
Mm.
are scared about his those kind of strong words, but that is a part of your learning. If every time they pamper you, so you cannot learn. So sometimes he has to become a hard to me also, but that also you have to absorb it. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that every time some will come and okay, Rajesh, do this, not like that. If you don't think that, also you have to listen the strong words. So that is a part of the learning. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, that is good for your journey. That is good for your learning, which I have realized.
Yeah. That's so rightly mentioned. I mean, it's all about your learning and journey only. I mean,
And
it goes hand in hand, I feel.
yes,
Uh, Regarding your PhD, then also later, I think you joined as a research scientist and research associate and in ICT itself. So how was that experience? Because in
okay.
that, in between also, like I think you worked in industry as well as a research consultant.
Yes, so that was a story of my research, because during the I told you after 1.5 I realized that there is some issue with me because I have to correct myself, align with my
Hmm.
colleagues and everything. So that during 5 years we have patented one technology, which is normally right now you can see in my profile
Yeah.
also. It's a green hydrolysis of the oil. Okay, so this technology actually was very good, and industry was very impressed by this result, and
Mm-hmm.
we obviously patented, and they want to do a commercialization. So that company who sponsored during my PhD work, they want to go for the commercialization. And because of that, what my guide told me, instead of going for the another job, let's do the job into same industry who want to add more and more green products in their portfolios. And because of that, I joined 1 year for that company, and
Okay.
I work as a consultant because they wanted, because I was even working in the industry, but I had to come for the institute for doing some kind of experimentation because it was
Yeah.
linked. It was a common, between the professor and the industry. Okay, we will do half work here, half work here.
Hmm.
And because of that, I worked 1 year initially there, added few products in their portfolios because now I was at level I can guide them instead of this reaction we
Yeah.
do this, and it will add to your product portfolios. And again, when I come back to the my academics again, so where I did my PhD was the National First Bioenergy Center. It means right now we can see the 20% blending of petrol,
Yeah.
alcohol in the petrol. So that alcohol has to be come from the agriculture residue, which is actually second generation biomass.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we are taking from the first generation sugar, excess of sugar is converted to alcohol, and we are blending it. But in the future, after 5-10 years, the sugar will might be the not only one source. There will be
Mm-hmm.
another source required for the petrol, alcohol to be blended in the petrol.
Yeah.
And for that research, government has started to do this kind of making energy centers across the India, and that was the
Mm.
first energy center which was set up in ICT, and I was a part of that center. So
So
after my PhD, what they said, because first 5 years of funding, they come to know about this center can make technologies. In the second phase, next 5 years, they wanted the alignment of the different technology. What X you can do beyond the alcohol? What different technology you can improve it? So when I joined again into ICT as a research associate and then a research scientist, so my job was not only work on the alcohol technology, but make new technology out of this. And that was
Mm.
the, I can say, become a base for a kind of coming across many industries. Earlier, only just
Yeah.
chemical industry I was associated. Then, because of my role, where I have to work with the food industry also, I have to work with the phytochemistry industry also, I have to work with the pharma industry also. So those kind of industry actually coming with their problems, and I have to divert, this project can be done like this, or this kind of project can be done like this. I spent almost 4 years as a this role. That was the
Mm.
one aspect of those days. Second aspect, because earlier I was focusing on, suppose I'm working on an enzymes group. So I was only just talking to the people who are expert in enzymes.
Yeah.
When this role was given to me, I had to go to the another group, like molecular biology group or fermentation group. So my role become the transversal cross-functional, teams have to work with a cross-functional team because they have a different team, molecular biology have
Yeah.
different teams. So I have to work across all the team members. So this
Mm.
kind of teamwork, which I can say I have learned during those days.
Mm. I think you had a perfect balance of academic as well as industry roles. How do you see at like, because I feel like many people still struggle to find exactly what exactly they want. Either it is like going into like proper core academics, or either they try to balance it with industry. Like what I personally believe the best way case scenario is like how you did it. Like your thing was like Biocon, and then you got an idea about it. So I also feel the same. Like if you do an internship or do any kind of work in industry, so you at least get an idea about how industry works. Then at least you can choose exactly what you want. But what do you feel like? You had a perfect balance. I feel like you had a sufficient experience in industry as well like academics. So how would you balance that out? Like what exactly at what time you feel like okay now I really want into solving problems in company.
Yeah. What what I feel is always you should have one industry problem with you, whether you
Hmm.
are in academic or whether you are in industries,
True.
because that will give a challenging environment, and your brain works when it is under pressure.
Yeah.
In normal condition, you never think about the innovations. आपत्ति में ही आविष्कार होता है. It's like that. So if you
Yeah.
should have one project which is industry related, and industry it's not a normal project. It's always a challenging project. So
Yeah.
when you are in academics, at least you should have one industry project with you, along with your maybe two, three typical
Hmm.
academic project. But you should be, have one industry project with you. And when you are in industry, obviously you have to work more than three projects. Then only become, learning for you. If you work only for
Hmm.
one project, it become very difficult to learn because industry also have a cross functionality. It's not like one chemical only goes in one industries. One
Yeah.
chemical can be in many industries. So how do you know, see those molecules and accordingly you work with those industries is also very important. So it's always about your approach in the both the
Hmm.
environment, whether you are in academic or industry. So whenever you're in academics, think about the one industry project. When you are in industry, think about the multiple industries.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like after that, you worked as a scientist staff in Freebie Specialty Chemicals Limited. How was your experience about that? Being transition, like you were already working like a research scientist at ICT, then you moved towards like that's what I'm like industry, and then you
Yes.
also worked as a scientist there. How was your
Yeah.
experience there as well? And how
Yeah.
would you compare the both the experience in terms of academic as well as industry level? Because both are really different. The work environment is very different. So even okay, let's just also talk about the work environment that you face in academic versus industry.
Yeah. So if you ask me work environment when you are in academics, you get every year new fresh batch of your students. So whether it
Yeah.
is a B Farm or B Tech, okay, or maybe you take example of M Tech where I was taking a lecture. So every year you get a very good novel mind, okay, because obviously they are very fresh, they have a
Yeah.
curiosity, and you get a very new ideas, okay, and those ideas can be help for the industrial problem which you are solving.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a different environment where I have so many youth or so many ideas to deal with, and obviously there will be some silly questions or silly ideas or silly those kind of things. That is a part of how you balance out those new minds. Okay, so when you in industries, it is very contrasting. It is not like you get a novel ideas. You have to generate your own because no one going to teach you okay how you can do this. It's
Yeah.
always about the profitability in the industries. They always calculate ROI. They are they always calculate. They given some package to you, CTC to you. What is your return on investment? So always there is a pressure of performing, not just getting a data, but making a product on the table. Okay, I have synthesized this product and this is the purity, yield, XYZ, and give the vision to the industry for the commercializations.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is more like making a product and going for the businesses in the industries. When you are
Mm-hmm.
academy, it's more like acquiring a new ideas and new fresh minds and everything. So in both the ones, it was very different. But
Yeah.
I told you, when you are academic, you should have one industry problem. So these ideas will help you to solve those. And when you are in industries, think about the businesses. Even I can say I have fortunate to work with the CEO, MD of the company because they have some vision. So you have to align your research work to complete those vision into reality.
Yeah. So you must have also learned a lot about businesses, like working with many people out there. Because I feel like when you work with like high-end people, like who have started companies themselves, and you be in that zone and around that, you also get a lot of knowledge about how business runs. I feel that
Yes.
is also integral. And I honestly, your profile seems like a very perfect balance of doing academic, then industry, then academic, then industry. I feel like that is something which I have seen very less people doing that, and that is something which is an X factor, I think, in your profile. So currently, okay, so then after your scientist role, you got into L'Oreal. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. You got into the manager level role. What exactly it is all about because it's a very big name as everyone knows about it. Uh, Also, what's your day to day looks like
Yeah.
working in there?
So again, there is a story behind this company because L'Oreal, it's the number one cosmetic brand in the world.
Yeah.
And this cosmetic brand always look for the innovations.
Mm-hmm.
So, L'Oreal was scouting a partner or technology provider or maybe the product
Okay.
formulator who can provide a bio base or from the nature, those kind of materials, which become a part of your maybe cosmetic formulations. So part of their scouting activity, they approach me. Obviously, one person from their side, research and innovation, approached me, Rajesh, we can meet. Initially, I was surprised because they return a mail to me, and I totally ignore because I said, okay, I am a scientist in these organizations. I don't need someone to ask
Yeah.
me what are the different product you are going because my MD is asking me, my guide is asking,
Mm-hmm.
my supervisor is asking me. Why
Yeah.
third person will ask me? I totally ignore. After
Mm-hmm.
2 years, again they approach me. Rajesh, can we meet like this? Then I was surprised because why these people are wanted me to, have a interactions. Then I realized that they are the raw material managers, and they
Mm-hmm.
always scout for the either it is industry or it is academia. Wherever there is a innovation, there is novelty, there is a cross functionality of the molecules, they will approach the person who is working on it.
Oh
So
wow.
then I realized, कि, okay, I'm working on XYZ molecule. I can say the ferulic acid name, or I can say lipase enzymes, because these are the things which they are looking for. And they actually come to obviously privy, they see, okay, these are the innovation you're doing, XYZ things. And from there, they noted down my name. Okay, Rajesh is working on this. And suddenly, after 4 5 years, I work in the industry. Then I thought, let's move over, MNC, because till now I
Mm-hmm.
was working on industry, Indian
Yeah.
industries. So I know the working environment in academia. I know the working environment in industry, Indian
Yeah.
industry. What is the working environment in the MNCs? So that
Mm.
inspired me. Okay, let's go for the MNC experiences because I might be 100% completed my journey because it's a part of learning and learning. So let's also learn MNC experiences. And that's why whenever there were opportunity again for the raw material manager, I approached them and they selected because there was uniqueness in the me because I was biotechnology expert as well as I have very good chemistry also. So they wanted someone who is more industry oriented, plus they have a basic knowledge of biotech plus chemistry. So I was a unique for them, and because of that, they hired me. Okay, Rajesh, you come and let's bring more and more innovation in terms of biotechnology and green sciences. So my
Hmm.
role in the L'Oreal is like raw material manager, and the way they approach me, I have to approach more, more industry people or academic people. So
Yeah.
whenever there is a innovations which I can say I can adapt for the cosmetic applications, I have to contact them. I have to scout out either technology or products, and let's see how I can position this raw material for the different laboratory. So we have different formulation laboratory across the world, and
Hmm.
everyone is obviously going for the innovations because
Yeah.
my role was not to work for the next 5 years of the product. My role in the lore is to work for the next 10 years and 15 years. What will be my product in 2035, or what will my product should consist of in 2040? Because
Yeah.
I have to predict today, okay, this product should be part of my launch, part of my this particular
Hmm.
serum, hair care, and whatever you can say, cosmetic application. So today I have to start, and then only it become a 5 years. After 5 years of research effort, it become the reality. So I have to scout those kind of things. This is the one role I am doing in the L'Oreal. Second role, it's the internal idea because I have those kind of experience looking at the molecule. I can see how it can work. What changes
Hmm.
in the molecule can bring a new innovation, new applications. If I
Hmm.
do any internal molecule development, then I have to work with the CDMO because I
Hmm.
don't have a manufacturing of those molecules, but
Yeah.
I have an idea for the molecules. So once I have internal idea, I go to the CDMO and then I told, okay, please synthesize these molecules and I want to test it. So in that way, it's an external collaboration with the CDMO like Jubilant, Aarti, or any other who are
Yeah.
very expert in synthesizing the molecule from the sketch. So another way I'm working in that like internal idea, but external partnership. And
Hmm.
third is like adapting the different industry because cosmetic industries don't only work with the cosmetic manufacturer,
Yeah.
they always work with the cross functionality of the industry. So it is a packaging industry, it is a food industry, it is a pharma industry, or
Hmm.
it is a medical industry. So whatever industries, there are so many raw materials. So how those raw material can be adapted in the cosmetic
Yeah.
environment. So those kind of identification of those application or raw material or technology, whatever you can say, how to work with
Hmm.
this. So these are three different
Wow.
role I'm doing here.
I mean, it sounds so interesting to me. I mean, the people who would be listening to this, I mean, they should feel like, okay, something is there. Because I feel like as your journey would have been like, uh, so you must have also not never thought, right? Like you will end up here. Like obviously no one does. Like no one knows the next step. But I mean, good thing comes to the people who just try. I feel that's what the thing is. But the fact that I mean, there are roles in like good MNCs. There are roles in I mean, let's say cosmetic industry as well. I mean, but I mean, people really don't know about it. I hardly see really people talking about it. Okay, like I want to go here, I want to go there. I mean, again, the same thing comes in. Uh, when I like this is like a general thing about my whenever we go into any seminar in any colleges, I just ask a very simple question: telling me about any five industry or telling me five biotech companies. People would like BSc people would go for like till third and then they would stop. Like they hardly don't know about it. But the same question when we ask tell about the five software companies, they would easily go
Yeah,
Google Meta. I
yes,
mean, that's where it lacks. Like it's all about lack of awareness. Uh,
yes,
but yeah, I mean, seeing your thing, I mean, really would I think we really inspire a lot of people that uh, academics as well, balance of it, and as well as like you can land up in good MNC. So since you talked about MNC, let's just talk like what do you feel like is a work environment culture in terms of MNC as well as if you compare to any other Indian industry? Because there is a
Yes.
huge difference. That's what I have heard from the people. So what do you feel about what are the exact differences which you feel as compared to Indian industry?
Yes, so actually it's a very huge difference. The huge difference, it actually you can feel the huge difference. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it is just one sentence in the HR policy, but it make a very different when you work in two different environment. The first which I see is more like there is no micromanagement. When you
Hmm.
are in MNC, there is no micromanagement because the people will trust you. Because if some work is given to you, it means you will complete it on the time. So timeline and work, these are the only two things which is
Hmm.
important. It doesn't mean what time you are coming into office, what time you are going
Yeah.
out of the office, because ultimately it doesn't make any difference.
True.
Okay, when you comparing the result how you achieve it's up to you. So those one cultural difference I have feel it, and because of that still I'm continuing here. Second difference, it's all about the HR which think about you, because normally HR is more towards the their employer side. Here which I've seen, HR is more towards the employee side.
Hmm.
I give a one simple example which I still feeling it. Monday every morning after your week when you come to the office, okay, you always have pressure because Monday what to do, because yesterday is a holiday, maybe the if you are
Yeah.
second for Saturday is a holiday, and you are totally new, and okay, if I don't do this, I know I am getting a firing XYZ, but you can't do work on Sunday also. So there's
Obviously.
always a psychological pressure when you enter into the Monday. So what this HR policy says, or they have started simplicity, I can say in their words, that there will be no single meeting on the at least first 3 hours of the Monday.
Hmm.
From 9 to 12, there will be no single meeting. No one question you, okay, what to do in this week, nothing. You can plan your own way. Okay, they
Oh wow.
given a space, you can think, you can plan, you can execute whatever you want. So it give a breathing space. Otherwise, when you
Yeah.
enter into uh, office, someone asks you, राजेश ये हुआ क्या, वो हुआ क्या, well, थोड़ा सा time दो यार, थोड़ा सोचने दो. You can feel that ना, there's a breathing space
Yeah.
given to you, 3 hours time. Think about it, what you want to say, what you want to do in the week. So
Hmm.
that make a very unique difference. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Monday morning, it's become very psychological, this kind of things. So this kind of HR policy differences which I have seen it. And
Hmm.
obviously there is a feedback session from the employee. Okay, we want, with respect to time, everyone is evolving. So what are the
Yeah.
different things you wanted? So they always take the feedback. In Indian, which I have seen, they take the feedback, but they don't take any actions.
They don't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. Here they take the genuine feedback, and they actually do those kind of thing. For
Hmm.
example, disconnection from your work. So there is a rule in the L'Oreal or MNC maybe. After 6, 7, whatever your time, there you have to be disconnect from your desk.
Hmm.
You have a right to say no to people.
Hmm.
Okay, which is not seen when I was in Indian industry. It's
Yeah.
like it is your compulsory, you have to answer. You have to say yes to your boss.
Hmm.
You can feel that point
Yeah.
because you don't have a personal and professional life balance there.
Hmm.
You have to work because you are the part of the organization, but
Hmm.
there is no time limit.
Hmm.
And I still remember when I was in Privia, I have a team of 7 people, and the people are working in the shift, eight
Yeah.
hours. So even in the night, I have to guide them because they are under me. Yeah. They are looking at me, Rajesh, 12 बजे भी phone करके you have to guide me कि what to do. It's like you are working for whom? It's like that.
Hmm.
So those kind of, I was not able to disconnect from the organization. Here, there's a policy called disconnection.
Hmm.
So that make that give a breathing time. Because if you
Yeah.
do any innovation, so you need a breathing time. You continuously you cannot make work and innovation together.
Hmm.
You think you need a breathing time. You need a break. Once you have break, then your mind will start. Okay, please, thoda सांस लेने दो, बाद में मैं सोचता हूँ. It's like that.
Hmm.
So I have seen this kind of cultural difference in the MNC companies and the industrial company. So what I always suggest any industry company, okay, please give a breathing time to your employee. Now,
Yeah,
few companies started, okay, even though we are Indian company, but we follow the MNC cultures. We respect the employee, the time,
yeah.
professional, personal life balance, work balance kind of things. So
Hmm.
they have started it.
So I feel like once, like if you also uh, feel this good about the company, then also like your mood would be good, and then you would be good at your work as well. I feel like that's what
Perfect.
like a
It is.
typical Monday looks like. If not like okay, you are coming on desk, working from 9, it started from 9, and then someone is calling you, hey, you work. I totally get it because if I look into my shoe or even in anyone's shoe, if someone does that, I mean. The person who is working for you will feel really good about it and he would be more motivated to work and also in a fresh space.
Perfect.
Uh,
There is a investment on your employee, and employee will
Hmm.
return back to
Yeah,
you. It means
100% agreed.
दिल से ज़्यादा काम करोगे दिमाग से ज़्यादा.
Hmm.
Okay, you will work from the heart, not from your
Yeah.
brain, because you know यार they have done, they have given so much thing to you. तो चलो भाई
Hmm.
कभी कुछ एक्शन करना भी पड़े तो you can do it. So that become a normality, normal human being outlook कि भाई ठीक है चलो कर लेते हैं उनके लिए. It's so important for you. पर अगर प्रेशर से आता है तो इट बिकम यार ठीक है करना ही पड़ेगा. It's like that. So both the approaches, you know, you have to
Yeah.
do the work, but positively you do
Uh,
when you are
like
given
that.
that platform.
That's so true.
Yes.
Uh, so I mean, okay, let's just hop on to the most like if let's just assume hypothetically if you were in position to change like three things about our curriculum or academia about how our curriculum is designed, what would it be like? Or what are the three things that you want to change in the whole system, like whole system of I say let's say education or even any roles or anything. It can be anything. Let's just be in hypothetical that you are just solving it. So what would be the three things that you would solve it instant?
Okay. So first I will always implement is the applied component in BSc or MSc level. Here, applied
Okay.
component, what I mean, it means you have to take one paper or one subject which will be industry oriented. Okay.
Hmm.
It means you have to go to the industry, you have to work on the problem, and then you have to present how you solve that simple, maybe, 2 weeks time, 1 month time, or 2 months time. It not be 100% solutions, but you have to be clear about your approach, high
Correct.
approach in that way. The one thing I always recommended to you should implement applied component in bracket, you can say industry visit instead of going in just one day visit for the Indian industries. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
You can see in the YouTube also, but it's not like just going for one day. It should be a
Hmm.
kind of very short term internship where you have given very specific problems and you have to work within that 1 2 months whenever you have time. This is the one recommendation I will give. Second recommendation to the all the professor or teachers who are actually teaching the students, instead of just doing theoretical knowledge, always explain the concept in the industrial perspective, because there is a way to explain it. It doesn't mean you have to just detect the definition of what is this work, but if you explain in experimental ways, okay, presentation is okay, but in presentation you should give a video presentation where you can see the molecule, you can orientation of the molecule, and you can explain okay, why this happened, why this cannot happen. So if you provide a kind of more illustration through experimentation part or anything, okay, not by
Yeah.
just taking the notes, then a student will analyze in such a way that when I go to the industry of practical life, I have a very good background. I second recommend to the teacher, assistant professor, or whatever, use a tools which will help to understand concept more easily. And third thing is like maybe they should have a more industry academia interactions. So
Yeah.
every 3 months or every quarters or every 6 months, they should be allow a industry expert to deliver a lecture on different topics. It's not like only biotech,
Hmm.
but wherever you have expert available for XYZ topic, they should allow, because I still remember when I was doing in BSc, one person has come from the industry
Yeah.
Matlab, she has completed her study, and I was asking how to study about my PhD entrance exams. So she was smiling. "कि राजेश कैसे करोगे?"
Hmm.
मतलब at that time there was no coaching class and there was no
Yeah. Yeah.
mobiles, no internet. Just you have to go to the reference book. So she said very simple sentence to me, Rajesh, whatever books come to you, okay, microbiology, biochemistry, biotech, just simply read it. Just read it.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that you have to very systematic about your work plan for the PhD entrance exam. Whatever books come to your hand, it's okay. This concept has to be there in your question paper. Be focus on your books, whatever you're reading it.
Hmm.
Okay, so this kind of simple advice makes life very easy, because I was thinking how should study and strategize my entrance exams, but they gave very clear nothing, just whatever is book for you. Make
Hmm.
it may be the your reference book, it may be the part of your curriculum book, but just focus on your books. Today it's more about a concept. Focus on the concept. When your concept is clear, any entrance exam, whether it is IIT, CSI, DBT, whatever, you can crack it if your concept
Yeah.
is clear. So I recommended more about industry academia interactions through lectures, through conferences, whatever you can say. And
Hmm.
to students should be involved on those where
Yeah.
industry expert can give us those kind of experiences.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
industry and academia, I feel like it started to happen like a recent, like a few years back. But still, I
perfect.
feel like it has to go a very long way
Very.
because abhi to you can say it can be in tier one. What about the people who are in tier three cities? Like they don't have zero exposure. So
Yes.
literally, I'm saying this from my experience. We get around daily like 700 to 800 CVs for just job and
Oh,
internship. There is no not even a count because like everyone is looking out for internship. Everyone in academia or in let's say industry. So the people who are looking in industry now, the industry has the same thing that we don't have vacancy. Obviously, I understand their POV as well because they are working in a work environment. Obviously, as an intern, if they are coming, because we cannot even compare fields. Like in software and IT field, it's very different. Here we are, uh, the investment
laboratory work.
itself so high. I mean, everything is very expensive. Even the short experiment that we do, it's very expensive in every field. I'm saying, let's just say pharma, biopharma, every
Whatever.
company. So it creates a lot of difference. But I really feel about I mean experience because I feel like I also come from a let's say tier three, tier two college. So I know this field. Like I felt the same thing because when I was in my first year, I still remember my teacher saying me that okay, this is the ELISA plate. And at that time we were just not even like we just used to look at it because they were like okay, it's very expensive, you cannot even hold that. So that was
Oh,
one thing that caught me in my first year ki, okay, now I really want work into li, right? So I was very evident ki I really want to work. So laterly down the year, second year I got, and luckily I got an internship with CSIR, ICB, SRFP, and then I worked in ELISA. But I feel like for many people out there, सर बीएससी तो आइडेंटिफाई करने में चल जाता है करना क्या है एग्जैक्टली, और वो भी नहीं फील होता ऑनेस्टली. बहुत सारे लोगों को मास्टर्स में जाके समझ आता है ये.
yes, you're right.
But for, what do you feel like at what point someone should feel like कि ये मेरा ideal goal है? Because I feel अभी के लिए at that time things might have been different. Currently बहुत सारी चीजें आ गई है. If we just look at, there is biotech, there is like new emerging of bioinformatics with use case of AI as well. There is like a lot of field like clinical research is also booming at some point. To identify exactly for a BSc guy, because someone who enters into biotech, I
Hmm.
entered into biotech without even knowing that there is any other subject than biotech. Okay, when I went through NEET, so I had no idea. But currently, people started getting ideas. But at what time someone can choose? Because how do I give advice? Is like first year, okay, let's just explore. Let's just explore each and every part, like a theoretical or practical, whatever you can, because that will help you identifying it exactly what you want.
Hmm.
But still, like the people who don't have exposure, how do
Hmm.
they even identify? I still have this question. Like, how do they even identify what exactly they want? Because our field is always about getting what you want. Because many people who enters into PhD, many people, like I would say more than 50-60%, lost their motivation by the end when they finish their PhD. I mean, that happens to a lot of people. So at what point you feel like, okay, this, how do you identify your interest, whether it
Yeah.
industry or academy?
Okay. I use very simple technique to identify my interest. When you are totally free, there's
Hmm.
nothing work. and whatever comes in your mind in your free time, that is your interest. Suppose I am a BSc student, my
Hmm.
exams are over, my marks are good, nothing, no problem, I'm nothing thinking about my BSc.
Yeah.
Then what comes in your mind?
Hmm.
Then it comes, okay, my day-to-day life problems. Then it will come to how biotech can be applied, how
Yeah.
I can use biotech for the another, society benefits, or those kind of. Then automatically you can link, okay,
Yeah.
I want to have a gene therapy kind of things to
Hmm.
society because I seen one person with the some kind of deficiency of gene. Then I know by 3 years of experience, okay, this is a gene which I talk about my professor in the lectures,
Hmm.
and then you correlate, and then it become passionate for you. Okay, this is which I must do it. You come to know how my interest was finded out by me itself,
Hmm.
because I was correlating my knowledge with the current surrounding problems. That become your interest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
it doesn't mean you have to every day you have to find your interest. One day it will automatically come when you are totally free, when you are
Hmm.
mentally and physically you are free and you have nothing to do. And
Hmm.
at that time, what thought comes in your mind, it become your interest in my
Hmm.
language. And then you try to correlate your interest with your academic study, and then you
Hmm.
get about your career. Okay, if I do a gene therapist, then I have to go with the masters in genetic engineering or master of these enzymes or whatever you
Yeah.
can say. And then you realize, okay, I have to be expert in this area, I have to expert
Hmm.
in that area, okay, biomedical or whatever you can say. In that way, it will choose your, you can choose your own path.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very, I mean, a different perspective to it. Uh, okay, I have a counter question to that. What if, like, I feel like, okay, in my case also, I had a interest and it was like fully that only. Luckily, I did my all experience in that only, cancer biology. But for the people, like, I've seen, like, okay, it can be that what if things come in your head and you try to do that. But
Hmm.
what if later down you realize when you do research, okay, when, like, let's say I'm interested in cancer, or like let's say, okay, as you said, gene therapy. Okay, so
Hmm.
as a first year, so they cannot get any experience. But yeah, I mean they can do theoretical. Now there are two things. First thing, either like you find out your research interest, you try, and then later down you realize, कि, okay, that was not even my interest. I mean that can also happen. Second thing is, as you said, which is very right. Like try at least, if you cannot get practical knowledge, try at least to get theoretical knowledge, because that would also enhance like exactly what you
Yes.
want. But I think many people stop at that stage only, that because they are like, yeah, I want to go into experiment, I want to work in labs, but they are like, yeah, okay, let's just, because I feel like, I mean, the people who are coming into biotech, they are more like, okay, research field, like experiments karna hai. But down the line, they realize, they don't realize ki, okay, there is a theory side as well. Because without theory, I mean, getting into practical is also really tough. So, I mean, many people stop at that. But the question, like, what if you find out ki, okay, that was not even my research? I mean, what if you lack motivation after 2 years down the line? You are thinking about that, and don't you feel then regret? Okay, what field I choose?
No, no. At that time, you should feel like you achieve one milestone. It
Hmm.
not necessary you to complete the second milestone.
Hmm.
You might be diverted toward any other, field which you are liking. For
Hmm.
example, I have seen, I still remember during my BSc, only myself have done the PhD
Yeah.
because of my all the friends, colleague. Okay,
Hmm.
they did management after BSc MSc because maybe they thought कि मैं कहीं और आ गया हूँ because my skill is different, my this is
Yeah.
different, so it's okay. It's not necessary you have to do PhD every time. If something is passionate you initially go with that, and after realizing this is not a patience,
Hmm.
then you have multiple options. Like if you do MBA along with your BSc, it give very good combination of selling of marketed product.
Yeah.
Because I have very very basic knowledge of biotech, I know how gene therapist molecule work, so I can
Hmm.
easily do a techno commercial role in any industries because I have an MBA in marketing. I know how
Yeah.
people is doing it. So it's a combination of engineering, marketing, management, science. So here, this kind of roles are evolving more and more in India.
Yeah.
Okay, you might be the expert in your field, that is okay, everyone salute you, but there will be
Hmm.
a multi-functionality role which is required by the industry, because
Yeah.
I cannot go into the selling of my product. I need someone to sell my product, but that person
Yeah.
should have basic knowledge of your product. Okay, so if you biotechnology or chemistry, then I can easily tell, okay, this is a product which works in your body in this way. So he
Yeah.
can understand, he can those kind of things. So whenever you think after your BSc, MSc, or even after PhD, you thought, okay, okay, this is not the way I wanted my
Hmm.
life. So don't worry. You think very positively. You say yourself, I achieve one milestone one. It not necessary I have to complete milestone two. From the milestone one, let's explore another opportunity, whether doing the management, whether you become a counselor, you become a content writer, you can do many things, because depending on your environment, your skill, you're passionate, you can do
Yeah.
many things. You become entrepreneurship. Doesn't mean after your BS you cannot do entrepreneurship, because you have very good business knowledge and you have funding, how to raise the funding, those kind of knowledge. Please go ahead with that. Not necessarily you need a PhD guy to be do that.
Yeah.
You come to know it's not like you have to go in always in one direction. Just
Hmm.
open your mind. It's okay if you invested in few years of biotech, micro, whatever you feel you've chosen, it give a very good base to you. Always
Hmm.
remember.
I mean, I
Okay,
was gonna say the same thing as well. Like I've seen a lot of people, even a lot of, I would say, my friends as well, who are currently in abroad, who have done their BSc or BTech biotech, and now have moved into industry in life sciences only, but as a management roles.
perfect.
And even in India is currently evolving, but I feel like it's really a good thing because you are combining your degree with, and even companies are looking for it now because
Yes,
they
yes.
also have started realizing that part, and every companies need like okay, see, the domains are really fixed, but also they are looking for specialists who have a
Good
good
knowledge.
knowledge about the academic part as well, but also have some insight. So if I believe, for example, if someone who is in bachelor's or master's who thinks about, okay, I really want to go into marketing or I have a creative brain, I mean, they can
Yeah,
also insight into life science industry and explore, because I feel like that's currently evolving and a very good point to start as well, and a good growth as well, I feel.
yeah, right, right. Perfect.
And what do you feel? Okay, how would you give advice to someone who wants to lend into MNCs? Because I mean, many less people knows about. I feel like after this, many people would be inspired. Okay, like this is how you can train about your journey. Like coming, obviously, you also don't know that this is gonna happen. But what advice would you give it to someone who is watching this, who want to lend into a good MNC? Uh,
Okay. So for that, become a into MNC, you have to make your profile very attractive. That is the one
hmm,
thing. So how to make your profile attractive? One is your networking. Okay, social networking, or you can say professional networking, LinkedIn.
yeah,
It become very good, starting point. Second,
yeah,
you should brand yourself. Okay, number of paper patterns. Okay, you should be aware of what you have contributed about the society, because that
hmm,
also make very good impact when you go in MNCs. Third, from where you did your degrees, okay, which universities it is recognized
yeah,
by the government of India. Okay, don't go for the private industry and those kind of, because they are not recognized
hmm,
by the MNCs. So you, whenever you choose any this kind of university, make sure it is recognized by the government of India. So that become base, because today not you are going in MNC, but in the future you go in MS, they will also do this kind of verifications. So these are third three things. Fourth, always look for the opportunities, because opportunity always comes. But when opportunity comes, then you have to cross your barriers. I still remember it was not easy for me to go from the Indian industry to MNC. I was literally cried,
yeah,
because I was so involved in my work. I was so involved with my boss, or I can say my colleagues. So you have to break that barrier, your comfort
hmm,
zone. I was so comfortable, because your working life, I have worked with my professor 15 years.
yeah,
It was a decision I have taken. Okay, I will not work with my professor now, because from 2009 2024 I was working with him as a initially as a student, then as a research scientist, then as a consultant, and again
yeah,
employee. So I have a different role under him. So it is very difficult to get that kind of, comfort zone to the
Hmm.
another industry where I don't know who is my boss, who will, how I will behave, or
Yeah.
you can imagine, okay, I'm going in a
Yeah.
dark areas. So
Sure.
at that time you have to take a decision. You have to lose your comfort zone,
Hmm.
and then only become you eligible for going to the MNC. So you have to be ready. It doesn't
Hmm.
mean every day you have to be ready, but whenever opportunity comes, take wildly decision. Okay, this is for the betterment of my future.
Yeah.
If you go from the comfort zone to uncomfort zone, it will be betterment for your future. So
Hmm.
those three four things you have to just focus on this.
True. Also, I feel like to reach, मतलब, I to follow. I simply feel like if someone really had to reach some stage, they would like they would have that fire or they would have that taken that. Even when you would have started, like you must have thought कि हाँ मेरे को कुछ करना है. Like even we don't know exactly आगे क्या, but exactly कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा. But I feel like everyone has something like a thing in themselves only that they will do something. And also the people mostly who says ki there is no opportunity, honestly I feel like opportunities hai, it's about also finding it. I mean, yeah,
And
you cannot, firstly you cannot compare two fields. I mean, you cannot even compare IT or MS or any other field with this, with our field. But I mean, about the opportunities, I feel opportunities hai, and again it all comes down to the lack of awareness. I mean, curriculums are not even designed right now towards the industry side. They don't even allow. Okay, understanding every industry, every company has a different type of SOP. So at least let them know about it. Exactly होता क्या है. I mean, many people को like बहुत लोगों को first second year में SOP का मतलब ही नहीं पता होता है. Exactly what are the protocols that are followed. I mean, every industry has different, but again, I mean, I always talk the same thing about it, lack of awareness. But I mean, we are also trying to bridge that up by, I mean, people knowing ki, okay, you can land into good field, even like if you have that. I mean, if someone really follows that in your journey, I mean, seems like one of them. So, I mean, yeah, sir, it was nice having a conversation with you. Any last advice you would give it to people who are in biotech, any fields in life science? What is the advice that you would give it out for some?
yeah, so I always give advice. There is a scope in each and every field.
Mm-hmm.
Just you have to master the field.
Mm,
Okay, whether you are medical biotech or plant biotech or animal microbial, you name it. Each and every field has their own scope. So don't
mm,
always go by the scope. Always go with your knowledge, mastery of the subject, and those kind of things. So always focus on yourself.
mm.
Okay, don't focus on what other is good doing. Or
Yeah.
he has done this, I'm sure also this. Okay. If you're interested, if your passion, your everything is combining, then it's okay. But just
Mm,
because he has done this, I will just do it. No, that approach never works.
mm. I mean, this happens a lot, I feel. I still, like, at least in college level.
Yes.
उसने इंटर्नशिप करी है मुझे भी यहाँ करना है.
ऐसा नहीं होता है.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much, sir, for having it. Was nice having a conversation with you. I feel like many people would really get inspired by it. At least get some knowledge about exactly how they can land roles, at least
Yes.
about awareness about field and each and everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.